in to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde, and the governor. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Hello, LLC land. The conference madness has begun. A little bit of delirium, a little bit of madness, and a lot of stress. That is what I can guarantee you. So, welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to another fun episode of Athletics LLC. The governor, how are you tonight?
I mean, how many of you know what Hell Week is? You know, the synergy and the combination of we're heading into championship week. You have finals, you have stress, you haven't slept for 4 days, you know, you've been in the ICU, you know, all of those things.
All the stories.
The fantastically horrible track sessions, the question marks afterwards, like, what's wrong with me? Oh, maybe you are 100% dehydrated right now. It's great. It's fantastic.
See, that was subconscious. He's like, oh God.
That's all.
Oh, yep. Tis the season. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
Clyde, how are you tonight, sir?
You know, it's been a interesting week in the office. It's been a crazy week in the track world, and Lakers in 5.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Shots fired.
Say it with your chest.
I really mean
Never.
6, but 5 sounds better.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the wolf. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. I obviously I was not good, but I have decided that the best way to honor somebody who's, you know, meant something to you is to do stuff that they would like. So I'm going to try to be as funny as I can, laugh and enjoy Clyde's foolishness. I have been on the record as saying Warriors in 6 for a while now, so we'll just let it go. I love the overreactions to one loss at home when they lost 2 at home the last series. So, you know, we're good.
Last but definitely never least, Sir Lucius.
I don't think I've ever been introduced before him. That's almost weird.
Well, you know, I am well, Madam Chew, Madam Big League, I'm sorry. And I could really care less how many games it is, just go Lakers, you know, I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
This is awesome.
I love
BLC.
it.
4, 5, 6,
BLC.
7.
BLC, it's me and you against these 3 miscreants.
You are outnumbered. You are outflanked.
Which is great. It's great.
Oh, sheesh.
They're gonna
And by
take
the
away
way,
Clyde's Bay Area card too.
how are you?
I'm well. I'm
Good.
well. I would say at this point I am thriving through the championship week.
See, I think you guys got to, you know, and I'm the old guy, and I've been doing this a long time. So you guys got to learn how to, like, just create a different focus and a different energy and positivity and all that stuff. You just got to walk out there and go, hey, it's going to be a great day, you know? So let's do it. Hey, you're not feeling well today? Hey, I want you to come back tomorrow. You know,
I'm in that mode.
Well.
I'm in that mode.
You know
There is no track drama during conference week. Just isn't.
I agree with all of that, but I'm gonna say,
okay, look, you know, so like
before somebody else says it.
As I said before, when someone says to me, I don't feel like myself today. Well, let me know who you feel like. When you feel like yourself, come back to practice.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
goodness.
it's also it's not real difficult for Sir Lucius to be like, oh no, everything will be fine. Because he walks outside and shines up his Ferrari. So
Now, to be clear, sir, since you mentioned my Bay Area card, as we have discussed before, I do not root for areas or teams.
Areas now.
Now we don't root for areas.
Areas, teams, cities, organizations. They mean less than nothing to me. I am not a Warriors fan. I am not a Lakers fan. Draymond is my favorite player. But I'm petty. There will be more people pissed off, both surrounding me and in the world, if LeBron beats the Warriors. So I root for that result.
Oh my gosh.
I see. Well, it's good to know.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Big League, let's.
All right, I know. Question 1.
Move on from this nonsense.
With the theme of finals week. Question 1. Track is back. Track is definitely back.
Okay. So in regards to track is back, what might be the most obscure result that happened this weekend that I don't think anybody paid attention to? Yes, sir.
71 meters in a discus in a dual meet.
That wasn't obscure, and everybody saw that.
I don't think everybody saw that.
Absolutely phenomenal. Like, any other more serious guesses on that?
Obscure.
Yeah.
Can I have
Quick look at the results, Governor.
No, is it in the field or on the track? Because I think I know.
On the track.
Oh, okay then.
And so now you don't know. So there you go.
Well, okay. I mean, there is one performance, in my opinion, that solidified someone as one of the top 5 sprinters of all time.
Yeah, but that's definitely not obscure.
Okay. But that.
Well, now you need to tell us what that is so that Lucius can give us his obscure.
Who wants to go first? Well, okay.
You.
So
you're the only one talking.
Yeah, I was like, you.
Are you not feeling like yourself tonight? Are you okay?
We attended the Texas Invitational.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line in the schedule, some lady just jumped into the quarter and crossed the line, and 49:68 popped up on the clock. And I think everybody in the arena, everybody in the stadium just kind of was like, who in God's name is that? And then you look up and it's Gabby Thomas.
Yep.
And I won't repeat what her coach said to me.
Please do.
Tell us.
No.
Do.
No, you'll have to.
I'm gonna call her. I'll call her tomorrow and ask her.
Yes. But I think to be honest, it's a page out of the Sir Lucius book. And I'll leave it at that. Because
thank you for the shout out, sir.
You hear this, and you hear this, and you hear this, and you hear this. And as for you as a coach and your reputation and all of that, you know what? Just take a little bit of that and let's move on with our lives. And that's that.
So my obscure result, and I'm totally surprised that the Wolf didn't know this. Aiden Owens Delerme ran 50:28 in the 400 hurdles this week.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
He did.
Nobody paid attention. Exactly. Nobody paid attention.
I don't even know where they were.
LSU.
They're at LSU.
LSU, yeah. Nobody caught that. So maybe he's planning on the Anna Hall crazy double.
It ain't exactly the same thing.
No,
but I'm here for it if he wants to try.
Oh yeah, I want to see it.
So
first of all, like that would be like, let's put it like that. If he pulled that off, I want them to walk out on the track and they hand him the Bowerman, right? Like that, right there on the track that day, right? Because one thing trying to do that in the middle of a hep, in the middle of the deck. Wow.
I have another thought about why that's happening.
Okay.
I think they're exploring some other possibilities for point maximization. And he can probably run both relays and the 400 hurdles. Almost certainly can't do the deck in both relays.
Nope. Well, 50-20 aren't getting the same points as getting the deck. So
yeah, but he that's his
can
first
run
time
fast.
doing it, right?
He can run faster. Yeah, he can run faster. And that might be it too. Because what that's going to do when you think about it, because the Wolf has been on this for a while. That's one, because see, he doesn't have to worry about a USA meet or anything like that.
Right.
He goes to the SEC championships. He gets his qualifying score he needs in the deck. And then the rest of the way, he's a relay and 400 hurdle. They still maximize points. They're deep enough, they don't need him in the deck. So that's a good point.
He's already got his qualifier for Worlds from last year's Worlds.
Right. So he might not do the deck at all. Yeah.
So
actually that would be a pretty savvy move on the part of Travis and Arkansas and the rest of the Arkansas staff.
Because their relay is nowhere near as good without him.
Right.
No,
right.
It's not.
Either one of them, either relay. Right. Like they need him for both.
That's right. So it was dual meet weekend, and every year we always spend time gushing about the dual meet weekend and the dynamics of it. I will leave his dual meet for the Wolf to get into because I know he wants to. But let me just say, because there's a video going around the internet right now from the UCLA USC dual meet. We've all been involved in 4x4s that get emotional and interesting, and people walk people down and all this.
Again?
Just you wait. UCLA has one of the top 4x4s in the country. They have run sub 3. They're phenomenal. At the dual meet, UCLA had already secured the men's team win. On the second leg of the dual meet, you will find the video on the internet of UCLA's second leg coming around the final bend, taking the Trojan Deuces, holding them down for no more than 15 meters while passing the USC athlete and then handing off the baton, which, depending on how you see such actions, you can have an opinion on. Here's the problem. They lost the 4x4.
Of course they did.
They lost the 4x4 after doing that. And then basically a scuffle broke out because everybody in their feelings. Both teams, if you look at the results, have been disqualified. So if you weren't watching or don't actually know, you don't realize what the result was. They lost. So for this video to be posted after the fact as if they won the race is wild to me.
Yeah.
Wild.
So wait, wasn't there almost a fight last year?
Yeah.
That was from the women's relay, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it was the same men's.
There was a huge walk down and
that was a walk down, but that didn't cause like issue.
No, but there was almost a Donnybrook last year as well. I remember.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do things like that, you got to secure the win. And if you lost, then you can't post it on the internet like you won. Oh man. It was funny though. It was funny. But to the big
Cal State. Cal Stanford.
Yes, let's hear about it.
You know,
The big discus throw. Let's start
It-
right there.
well, so look,
That was worth
obviously-
double points, right?
no, no.
Okay.
You know, what is always interesting to me about the big meet is that no matter how good it is, no other schools ever like buy into the hype and the facts of what happens. And so nobody else ever does it. And it's just interesting to me. Like Rono broke the he broke the collegiate record in the dual meet eons ago, ran 13. Like the big meet record in the steeplechase is 13:05. For no reason, right? I mean 13 from the 5K, sorry. It's 13:05. And now the big meet record in the discus is 71 meters, another collegiate record. But it's really what happens when you put together two, they don't have to be great, two good teams that really, really, really draw from beating each other, right? Like, I think part of it is that in most cases, the Cal team and the Stanford team are not necessarily national top 5 teams. So those victories mean even more to them, I would say sometimes. But I don't know, it was cool. The Golden Bears won both genders. I think, and this is not trying to poke the bear, I think JJ is going to realize very soon that result is not okay to his alumni. Even if they win a trophy at the national meet, they're not really fans of losing both genders of the big meet. Especially when their best sprinter didn't run.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Right. So like those kind of things will not go over well.
So the Stanford, he didn't race.
Udody didn't race.
Maybe he's hurt.
No, he ran the 4x1.
Right, but he didn't run the 100 or the 200.
Maybe he's hurt. Was he injured and just didn't run, or he just didn't run?
I didn't see the start list. I just saw the results.
Right.
And he wasn't listed as what I'm saying. He wasn't he wasn't in the results as DNS. So that makes me think that he wasn't entered. But I don't know. But it's it's a fun meet, especially when both teams are good. And I think at this point there are some really good national people on both teams. It's fun.
Line up and race your rivals once a year. It's good for you.
But there happens to be some very good athletes on both of those rosters right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, like it's a better meet, obviously, when that's the case, right? When both teams have some really good people. But there's one of these days I'll stop feeling like I'm yelling at the wind. But if you want for 99% of the campuses in this country, a dual meet would make more sense to your administrators than every invitational you go to. In a world now where we live, where invitationals and such don't have the place they used to, because you have to go through the first round to get to the national meet. There is no like, I jumped this far, so I get to go. Now you have opportunities to do different things and build a fan base on your own campuses doing different things. And in 98 to 99% of the places in this country, it would be better.
I mean, think about that for a second. This past weekend, we had UCLA, USC, we had Cal, Stanford. I think you had Washington State, right? What if we had Florida State?
Man,
Governor, who would be the rival weekend race for y'all?
Here's the thing. What will be better? We'll do. Look, one of the bigger rivalries in the SEC in football is Florida, Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine that track meet.
Whatever, I'll take that. I'll take Florida, Georgia, head to head.
Border war? What are we talking about?
Right, right.
Who would be your governor? Who would be your matchup this past weekend?
Oh boy. Like I'm picking from wherever?
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
like you the school's rival like that.
Well, having experienced it once, I cannot tell you how deep the hate and vitriol between Kansas and Missouri is.
facts.
There you go.
It goes back to a time when the Missouri Tigers would go across the border and blow stuff up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, this is real. There was a group.
Jeez.
That's what they call themselves.
That's
And
great.
so we're talking about history here. And yeah, I mean, I witnessed the last Kansas-Missouri basketball game. Oh my goodness. I mean, I could go on.
And I
But-
thank you for that, but I was asking about your school. Who would be the lineup rival for y'all?
For UTSA,
Yes, sir.
it would be Texas State.
Okay, I didn't want to guess at that. I thought so.
It'd be Texas State.
Chewy, don't tell me it's SMU.
Oh, unfortunately, it is.
Hey, I'm with that.
But-
the
But y'all could
DFW
do,
battle.
Y'all could do Baylor. Y'all could do Baylor though.
We could do Baylor. Baylor would make more sense because of the dual genders.
Right.
SMU only has women's track.
Right.
So,
There you go.
I mean, can we pick and choose?
I mean, hey, I'm here for the DFW battle.
Yeah. So the football version is called the HEB. It's an HEB. No, the I-35 challenge.
All right. Can I get the Gamecocks and Clemson dual meet? Can I get that?
Wow.
I mean, please.
Can I get that?
So
Lucius,
Lucius,
what would you like to see? What meet would you like to see for real? In a
Me?
dual meet weekend. Yeah. You don't even have to, it doesn't even have to involve the Gators if you don't want to. But what two teams in a border war or in-state rivalry or, you know, what
Oh,
two teams would you like to see?
And then this has happened over the last few years. Oh, Texas A&M.
oh,
Yes, which
Thank
which
you. Yes.
was a great meet
Thank
you.
last
Texas
year and the year
exactly.
before.
Oh, yeah. Sign me. And you know, another one I would love to see when they're in about 3 years when they're both pretty good. Auburn and Alabama.
ooh-wee.
Yes.
Yes.
indeed.
Once Leroy and the crew gets that thing kind of kind of fluffed up, that'd be a great track. Yes.
See, but this is what I'm trying to understand. With us having, I can't call it anything but regionals. I know it's first round. I can't make my face make those sounds.
We all accept that it's regional.
Right. With us having regionals, why are there not more dual meets?
Okay, so
Even if it's just one a year.
all right, so but see here's your issue. Okay, so let's take Clemson and South Carolina. Okay. Both of them, they have different structures, different focus. Now both of them really love Penn relays as well.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. They're gonna both go to Penn.
Yeah, let's
not
do that. Let's just line up and race each other.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you know. Like even if you take Florida State, like we just have different focuses, we have different, you know, thought processes how we get to things. So picking a weekend and expecting both of us to show up that weekend and be serious about the meet right now,
Mm.
you know, it's just not that. But like I said, I mean, but again, there's some of those rivalries out there that just so serious. Like, see, the Cal Stanford, the UCLA, USC. That's history. That's tradition. There's, I mean, you can find YouTube videos on those meets like from forever ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't even know that there used to be a Florida State duel.
Yeah, it was.
You know, they just, and it was good.
Mhm.
And then somehow it just went away, and nobody, I don't know why. You know?
What would a Michigan Ohio State dual meet be like? What would
Oh,
Hey.
oh yeah.
And that's what I mean.
Wow.
Like, look.
Okay, so here's the problem. So let me attempt to make sense of this nonsense, right?
Mhm.
So people have yet to figure out there's a divide between indoor and outdoor,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So they spend all indoor season chasing marks,
Mm-hmm.
and they come outside and they continue to chase marks.
Which is dumb.
And if they would just understand that The key to being successful outdoors is make sure you're in the top 48 and then out compete people,
Yep.
right? Not chasing marks.
Yep.
Not, going to wherever you can go to make the discus go as far as it can, or, going to altitude and running a fast time. You got to be in top 48, right? And so if you're crafty enough to make sure that your team and your athletes are within the top 48 and compete well, you'll get to the national meet and do well.
Yep.
But the teams that run all over the country firing bullets, and the gun gets empty sometimes.
And I guess
wait,
that's
hold
my
on.
point, right?
Hold on 1 second. I really need everybody to hear what you just said. You do not have to travel to said meet on said track at said weekend to get a mark that doesn't hold true to anything during a competition, a ladder competition.
Right.
So I say this because, on those big weekends, so again, I didn't travel to those meets up until 3 years ago, right? Oh, where are you at this weekend? What are you guys going to go do? And I'm like, huh? Because I still don't understand the question. I don't.
No.
Like, because we could never go to those meets before. So you had to go deep down in the bellows and make these marks happen somewhere.
So you hear this, you get the question. So what are you trying to get done this weekend?
Yeah.
Get a little better, stay healthy.
Right?
It's not like you go to the Razorback or you go to the Tyson meet indoors. It's like, hey, we got to roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the training model for indoor and outdoor are way different games.
Yeah.
Like indoors, we go race, we gotta go race. Outdoors, you little heavy legged, you'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, so essentially, when we get to a point where we are putting clips out, this clip needs to be.
I know.
Because trust me, it is a bad thing that is happening in our sport. There is no question. And folks just do not see the big picture, and they don't understand that you get the top 48 mark. Now you're preparing for what matters.
Yeah.
This has been track and field ever since they introduced the first round and the finals. It's what it is.
And this is why I say the dual meet does two things that are actually useful within that construct. One, you have far more time control over what you have your athletes do, right? You don't, if you go to an invitational, it takes you 2 days to get 3 things qualified, right? You can get that done in 3 hours. Because again, we're talking about the top 48.
Right.
We're not talking about the top 16 in the country. We're talking about the top 48 in the East or the West. That's one. Two, you can actually have something on your campus that your fan base, who doesn't really get track, but they really hate the other school, can come to. All the frats can come to. All the sororities can come to. They can sell tickets to it. All of these things, right? But it's like we're all still living in 1992.
Yeah.
And it's just not the case anymore.
See, in this world of, we want to chase marks a little bit. And it's if you get the right people together, the marks are going to come, right?
Right.
So let's just expand this a little bit. So we're gonna create border wars, right? So we're gonna go Florida and Florida State, Georgia and Georgia Tech, Clemson and South Carolina, all on the same track, the same week. Get a lot done.
There you go.
Yeah.
16.
A lot
done. Right? Yeah.
There you go. Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3.
Yeah.
Done. It's done.
And obviously, this is coming from the guy that we had the hottest meet in the world on our track a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Gold. You're welcome.
But there's no way that, as the Wolf is saying, that you can't get the right stuff done. And, again, I just think people lose sight of the fact that indoor and outdoor are two totally different monsters.
Yep.
And the number of people that run extremely fast earlier in the year that never get to the national meet gets more, that never rises every year.
Mm-hmm.
every year.
I mean, just imagine it, like, okay, in Sir Lucius's situation, right? No one is going to complain about what lane they get in the 4x1.
Nope.
All three teams are in the middle of the track,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's a lot easier to get done what you're trying to get done when there's fewer distractions. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. That was not Track is Back, but that was Track is Back. So
Yeah, the wolf kind of hijacked that one.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Alfred is still running under 11 seconds every week. There, track is now back.
Here's funny that was her legal PB.
Yeah, 1096, right?
1095. 1095.
195, yeah.
All right.
Can I before you go, can I roll through some of the things that happened this
Yeah,
weekend?
highlights. Yes.
Yeah, so Alfred 1095, Gabby Thomas 4968, Valerie Allman 6820, ho hum. Brooke Anderson 7869, Camacho Quinn 1229, ho hum, windy. James Dadsey 1979, Alekna 771 meters even. Samukonga 4391 in the quarter. Asinga 989 again. Ryan Krauser 2238.
Whoa, didn't a single run 19 something and 200 as well?
Yes, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
by the way. Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
The one, in terms of like just under the radar, Mr. Dendy going 834.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And Omanyala 978 to win in Botswana.
Yeah.
Light work.
Light work.
Anna Hall's trying to tell y'all she's coming and nobody's paying attention. That's all I'm gonna say. She did 4 events in the rain. She PB'd in 3 of them.
What'd she say? Was it
3
training
events
day?
in the rain and did PR in 2 of them, I believe.
Same thing.
Big league.
No, I wasn't trying to be smart, but yeah.
So, growing a little bit off of our staff meeting last week, which we got rave reviews about. I don't know if you all got phone calls, texts, or even read the comments of the videos. Everyone loved it. So good stuff on that. But growing that a little bit outside of that conversation, presenting a question, laying it on the table, pun intended. What is the role of a volunteer coach? Not a volunteer coach anymore, depending on the program that you work at. Our program is now calling them program assistants. Or no, program associates, whatever you are going to be calling them after July 1st.
To be efficient and unheard.
To be efficient and unheard.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
There will be no applicants coming your way. Efficient and unheard. Wow.
Pick this up, move this here, do it.
Okay, so all right, so we have had a ton of success.
Right
including
here.
somebody on the tiles.
Right here.
There was a volunteer, and I think like here, the role of the volunteer is to learn. Right? The role of the volunteer is to come in, and I'm not just talking about the X's and O's, the do's and the don'ts, learning the rules and regulations, not just University of Florida, but the NCAA as a whole. We take a lot of pride in the fact that when a volunteer assistant leaves here, they can go in and plug into any program in the United States and be successful, because we grill them. We talk about the rules. We go over training models. We go over recruiting situations, right? So the role of the volunteer assistant in our program here is to learn and prepare yourself to be a great assistant coach.
That's what I said.
Or
efficient
a great associate.
Quiet.
No, not. I don't want him quiet. I want him asking questions.
No, not quiet for you. Quiet. Like, go set these hurdles up 3 hours early and sit there. They do that.
No. I've managed to set up hurdles. That's not their job.
A
Because
volunteer
the governor will tell you that
Yes.
he used to get yelled at from the moving hurdles.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. A volunteer assistant is a can-do person.
Yeah.
You are a can-do. Not only that, you are a what can I do person. And if you are going to be exemplary, and if you're going to be a cut above, you're not waiting to be told. You are presenting yourself and saying, hey, what do we need to do to set up for today? What do you need? Okay. Do we need to get the pit raked up? What time is practice? Where do you need the hurdles? Like, those are the things that, you know, if you can humble yourself, if you can bring yourself down a notch and put yourself in a situation where you are now actively coordinating, you are setting up, you're breaking down, you are making sure the head coach or the assistant coaches, making sure their jobs is as simple as possible, then you are doing a good job as a volunteer coach. And it's easier said than done. But in my opinion, and having been in it myself, you know, the thing that I had to learn really fast was that I had to humble myself and I had to be ahead of the curve. And I did that for 6 years, and I'm in the situation I'm in now because I did that.
Both of those are well said. And my serious answer to this question, it is an important question, is to be of service.
Mm-hmm.
Be of service to the coaches who you are working under, be of service to the athletes who you are helping prepare themselves for their endeavors. Just be of service to all around you.
Mm-hmm.
Volunteering for anything sucks.
Yes.
Right? It's a grind that, you know, at the end of the day, there's not any direct financial compensation for.
Mm-hmm.
But you're compensated wildly and spectacularly with knowledge, with structure, with know-how.
Mm-hmm.
If you are there to learn, if you are there to can do,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are ultimately there to be of service. I think people like the governor and others who I have known who show up to volunteer positions excited about the opportunity that they have typically thrive in them and move on to greater and better things. The people who show up to volunteer situations salty, as if the world is punishing them,
Mm-hmm.
or as if they have fallen into a situation that they don't deserve to be in, are the ones that ultimately play themselves and, you know, screw it up.
Yeah.
But seriously, if someone is gracious enough to give you an opportunity to volunteer on their staff, to come into this very intimate environment, this very delicate dance of balance, you need to be there to be of service.
Yeah. I firmly believe that volunteer assistants are apprentices, and they are there to LLC. Listen, learn, create value. I volunteered at Wake Forest for 2 years. Well, the first year I was a straight volunteer. The second year they paid me basketball tickets. And I don't know that I would have had a career as a track coach if I hadn't done it that way. And you need to take all three of those C's all three of those letters very, very seriously. You shouldn't volunteer someplace that you don't plan on and that you can't learn.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't volunteer anywhere. You shouldn't work anywhere if you're not going to listen. Because if you're not going to listen, you know it all already, and you should own your own firm and create your own school. And creating value is harder than people think it is. right? Like, if you're going to volunteer at the University of Florida, how are you going to create value? Well, every single institution has the way they do things. If you spend time, really spend time on how to be more efficient, how to make the coaches on the staff more efficient, how to make athlete flow or meet flow or anything of that nature more efficient, then you have created value. If all you do is complain, and if you feel like you're overworked, or you feel like, I can't believe I'm doing this for free, like, you shouldn't, right? Because the C doesn't stand for complain. And I think a lot of people don't get that. Like, the world we live in now in 2023, there's a great number of people who think volunteering is a bad idea. Why would I do that for free? Well, so that you can learn how to do it right.
Yep.
That's why you should do it for free to start. But I ran in the SEC, or I ran in the ACC, or I ran in the Big Ten. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Are we going to pay you to run for the University of X? No. So if your job is to coach people and to speak to people in their homes and to do all these other things that have nothing to do with running, then you have to learn how to do these things.
Well, the thing go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think volunteers are, and look, let's be clear. The NCAA is eliminating volunteers, which means now you're going to be a paid apprentice. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Somebody's going to pay you to steal knowledge. What?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that if you want to know how to build a winning program, be a fly on the wall at a winning program. If you are
blessed you think enough, so? You think that's a good idea?
Hello. If you are given, and I say given, if you are given the opportunity to go and watch some of the best coaches in the world do their thing, and watch the head honcho manage personalities, manage athletes, put fires out constantly, see things coming 10 miles ahead of 10 minutes ahead of time, that is where you are literally getting a bird's eye view into whatever it is that you want to do. And that's the issue that I think for some reason a lot of people have a problem. They have a problem with that. And it's like, you say you want to do this. You say you want to lead a program one day, but you have no clue how to do it. But you get a chance to watch someone do it. I mean, hello. It's not rocket science. I don't know.
Yeah.
Has everybody on the panel volunteered? So just Pretty Boy.
Though I will say, my first year at La Tech, being paid a total of $5,000 was as close as you can get.
You were a volunteer, homeboy.
And
yeah, so take
you also
that
spent
back.
time. Right. You also spent time in the HBCU world, so yeah.
God.
You put in your time. You had a salary, but it definitely didn't pay you for all that you had to do.
No. Yeah, living in the dorm, graduated college when you never lived in the dorm.
Glad you were a volunteer for a whole lot longer than you were willing to admit. You were a volunteer, my friend.
Indeed.
These are facts.
I think, so the line that I can give to that question of what is the role of a volunteer coach is to fill the gaps and be a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
So where I struggle with saying the fill the gaps part out loud is some of the younger people, and it's not limited to that population, but definitely that population right now, have a hard time even reading the room or having foresight So that's where some of the issue comes into, where like they actually shoot themselves in the foot rather than be of assistance. Because then you get double yelled at, and that's not fun at all. But that's what the role is, because again, like has been stated, like you're supposed to be making things easier or a little bit smoother or flow a little bit better. But when you cause the ripple that turns into a wave, then there's an issue. And that's when your time is cut short. So
You know what's fun for me at a meet? Let's just say you're at a small meet and you know a race has just gone off and you blink and 3 head coaches are on the track putting hurdles up. Head coaches. Okay? If you want to know if there's anyone that has been through the ringer, as we would say, and has experienced being a volunteer and has, you never let that go. That never goes away, right? And there's always that moment where you're looking around, you're like, wait a minute, we need to get these hurdles up. You're not telling someone to go put the hurdles up. You're putting the damn hurdles up.
That's a fact.
I mean, I witnessed that Florida relays, you know, 400 hurdles. I look up, Clyde and the Wolf are putting up the hurdles in the back of the 400 hurdles. You know, a couple of years ago, I turn around and there's Dennis Shaver and Raina Ryder putting hurdles in the track. Very high paid hurdle crew that was.
Exactly.
more than you could ever ask for.
Yes.
All right. Last question of the evening. Where do the relay meets fit in the order of importance in today's collegiate landscape? So meaning Texas relays, Florida relays, Penn relays, Drake relays, so on and so forth.
Ooh,
Go ahead, Clyde. You're about to jump through the screen.
Nostalgia is overrated. And, you know, not all relay meets are built the same. And this is not a superficial shout out to our LLC member, but Florida Relays, for example, is also an actual track meet. It's not a relay carnival where you can only do gimmick events. The days where Penn was critical to whatever your process was, your recruiting needs, your whatever, those days are long gone. And there's still some people, you know, with a death grip on it, like it really, really matters. But it just doesn't. It's nostalgia. And it's you know, I'm a fan of nostalgia to a point. I mean, my name's on the wall, right? But it's not necessary. And if I was an East Coast school, I would love Penn Relays weekend and I would be there and it would be critical to what we do. But if I'm in the South or the West, if I, you know, California, whatever, why would I do that? It just doesn't make any sense. And so, you know, I guess there's a space for these type of things. Again, I'm a huge fan of Drake. And when I had an actual purpose to go to Drake, we went and it was spectacular. And my athletes are on that wall. But would I do that consistently for like qualifications and chasing marks as we spoke to earlier? Absolutely not. And I think the major relay meets have become way more nostalgia and tradition than they are purposeful. And I think way too many people spend way too much money trying to play that game. And it's just not necessary.
Let's touch on the blueprint of Florida Relays and the fact that you can go to a Florida Relays and run individual events. Okay. It's early enough in the season. There's still a little bit of fun you can have, but you can also go ahead and get your marks out of the way and then move on with your season. It's not lost on me that you're talking about the last meet before the conference meet, that you are going to run a DMR. that you're going to run a 4x8,
4x2?
that you're going to run a 4x2.
Why?
I mean, your top athlete goes down in the 4x2. What was the purpose of that? What was the mindset of it? And that's the part that, you know, it just does not serve purposes when you're talking about trying to build your season up, trying to put together a competitive team as you're going into conference. You need to be tweaking things. You need to be focusing on the little itty bitty details in individual events. Yes, the 4x1 and 4x4 is important, but chances are you've already gotten what you need to get done at that point. You know, it might have been a situation where an athlete's injured and you're trying to get that last race in. But again, the meet used to be a recruiting hotbed. It used to be a place to go for bragging rights. It used to be a place where you're coming home with the big
Wheel.
Yes, right? That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It does not.
You can't tell some people that.
So that's my spiel.
Well, it's okay. Just for context, because I think a lot of people are nowhere near as old, but the Florida Relays has changed its schedule and program multiple times over the years. It has clutched the pearls, adapted and progressed with the times. But the Drake Relays, which I love, the Texas Relays, which I loved, with the Penn Relays, which I loved, and even Mount Sac to some degree, they have refused to actually change.
Yep.
And to Clyde's point, solely out of nostalgia, they believe that people should still flock to their places, endure, in 2 of those cases, absolutely awful weather. In 1 of those cases, probably run marks over a 4.0 that won't count.
Mm-hmm.
In the 3 individual events you're allowed to do. And I keep saying, if you start at the end and work backwards, it doesn't make sense. If I got to have the best team at the final site, then I got to have that same team as much as possible and then some at the first round. And I got to have that same team in full effect at the conference meet and everything prior to that. So after indoor NCAAs and up to the conference meet is all in preparation for those 3 meets. So if that's the case, if that's the truth, that's the playbook that we all should be, you know, in college, as a college coach, you all should be looking at. Running the 4x8, the DMR outdoors, the 4x2, the train wreck, like none of those things make any sense. And because of the first round, the NCAA calendar was pushed back 2 weeks from what the old calendar was. So now the season's going to be longer and I have to keep people healthier for a longer time. So I really don't even understand the idea of running events that are not going to they're not going to move the needle. I have no disdain for Penn Relays or Drake Relays or Texas Relays or Mount Sac. I just want them to adapt with the times. I want there to be 200s at all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I want there to be 400s at all of those. Right? I don't take away the shuttle hurdles. Leave the shuttle hurdles in all of those events. It's spectacular. Everybody does it once, maybe twice a year. Fine. Sounds great. give respect to the true hurdle gurus that will coach 4 people to run fast. I am here for that, because guess what? Even though it's not an official time, I know how fast each one of those 4 people ran, and it's useful for me in my planning for the conference meet. And usually that's a good way to get your deck or your HEP some extra work. But until somebody can explain to me the actual use for a 4x2 outside, a 4x8 outside, a DMR outside, sprint medley outside, I don't get it. I want them all go away.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I think that, I mean, there's a place for everything. And for me and my thought process, I mean, I don't mind going to a meet early in the year, you know, running a 4x8, sprint medley, whatever, you know, it's always had the fun, let people chase school records and stuff like that. I'm not a proponent of doing things said things later on, because everything we try to do is plotting towards a big postseason. So, as an assistant coach and even as a young head coach, I can never understand why we went to Penn and did all the crazy things we did. When you go to Penn relays, it's 2 weeks before the conference meet, and the only open events you have were the high hurdles and the 100. You know, it's like, I didn't get it, you know, but it was like, we were told that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. And so then as I got a little older, I started thinking like, man, why do we go to Penn? You know? So we don't go to Penn relays anymore. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to be critical of anything anybody else does. I know there are people that think that Penn and Drake are still vital to recruiting. I don't prescribe to that, honestly. But people got to do what they got to do. You know, like I think I'm never going to bash Penn. I had some great times at Penn. You know, Drake was the coolest I've ever been in my life. Don't ever want to go back. But at the end of the day, those are meets with storied histories and tons of traditions. They just don't, in my opinion, fit the model required to be successful at the NCAA championships.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. Yeah. No diss on anybody that goes to any of those meets or all of those meets.
None whatsoever. Exactly.
Yeah. Just some thoughts. That's all.
No, because the question was what role do they play, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for all of us, we would say the role that they play is whatever role they should play in your program.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody's different. But it's just, they're just not the catch-all for everybody that they used to be.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, with that, we move on to Would You Rather.
I do have something I'd like to say. I have a question.
Just kidding. Yes.
Okay. So actually, I lied. I don't have a question. I have a statement.
Okay.
Would you rather, because would you rather? Because it just happens to be that tomorrow's your birthday. And so may the 4th be with you. So, yeah, no shushing allowed. You're on the hot, you know, this would you rather, hot seat, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Get you to calm yourself, get ready. You know, when you get a little nervous, your hands just, you know, rubbing together.
I do. It's so funny because you can't see it on camera.
Right. But I know these things. Exactly. I'll get my pen.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah. Man.
So first and foremost, everybody flood her emails and text messages and all that stuff, because Friday will be the day after her birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. Get it done. So, what is your favorite birthday cake?
It's not a cake. Well, okay, does it have to be a cake?
Yeah, absolutely, it has to be a cake. That's the question.
Chocolate cake.
Okay, you want ice cream with that?
I don't care. If it's dry, yes.
Do you want ice cream with that?
Sir Lucius, you know the answer, what that meant. You know that.
No.
Okay, I don't care. Yeah, okay.
No, wait, I really don't. Unless it's a dry cake, then I need the ice cream.
Yeah, let me sit down there I give you a dry piece of cake and I'm sitting there with some ice cream. Yeah. Let's see how long that lasts.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna allow you a do-over.
Okay.
Your 16th, 21st, or 30th birthday. Which one you want to do?
16th, 21st, or 30th? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah.
16.
Ooh.
So what is your favorite birthday memory?
I don't remember them.
Well, that shows how she spends her birthdays.
Yes. No, well, and here's part of the reason. Like 50% of the reason is this is the first
Madam
year.
Chu, Madam Big League. Listen, that's okay. We don't have to go into these long. We
It's
don't need to go
rapid
around the
fire.
block. You just don't remember. It's okay.
I
darling.
don't. I'm always
You
at
don't
a
have to- you
track
don't have to
meet. That's why.
You don't have to explain. So and see and I want to get to that question and okay. So you could spend your birthday any place in the world. Where would you go?
On a beach.
Where? Which beach?
A warm beach.
No,
There
no,
you
no,
go.
You know what?
Alameda
Big
Beach.
No.
Big league.
No.
The Senator
Well,
Alameda
Not,
Beach.
not all beaches, quote
Are
unquote,
the same.
are the same.
And there's no way you're just going to any beach.
I'll
Alameda.
go to.
Galveston, I'm sorry, is not a beach. Okay.
I'll go to. I'll go to Waikiki because I know I can do Waikiki.
Why was that so tough for you? Anyway, moving forward. Okay. If you could be granted one wish for your birthday, what would that wish be?
Ooh.
See, but notice there have been those suspect questions come out of my mouth.
I was about to say, this is spectacular.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
I know you do. We can depend on Clyde. One wish cube.
I don't know.
Okay. You're no fun.
I know. Make
Weird,
it through the
weird.
day without being irritated. There you go.
Ooh.
all of your faces.
Chewy,
now.
what is the worst birthday gift you've ever received?
No, hold on a second. I'm not done. We got one
Oh,
more.
my
question
bad.
for me.
There was more.
Okay. And that was actually one of my questions and I crossed it off. So, but I want to know, because of when your birthday is,
Mhm.
what percentage of your birthdays have been spent at a track meet?
I think this is the first one that I won't be at a track meet.
Mm.
Like first weekend.
Okay. Let me try this once again.
I don't know the percentage. 1 out of
Take a
43.
wild guess, woman.
1 out of 43.
Okay, never mind. I'm done. You were not at a track when you were 2 years old.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Wow. I'm praying for you, girl. Okay, the floor is yours, Clyde, because I'm
Chew
next
answers
time,
birthday.
Hey, next time
Listen.
I'm going the suspect route. Okay.
Chew answers birthday questions like the Warriors played last night.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
here we
hey,
go.
hey, hey.
Ooh.
Here
What's
we
the
go.
worst birthday gift you've ever received?
Worst birthday gift.
If you say you don't know, we're jumping right into heartbeat prop.
Okay, this is really bad, and I'm really sorry. I know this person probably doesn't even exist in any worlds near ours. I got a fake emerald ring.
Mm.
Did you know it was fake instantly?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
And I still wore it.
terrible.
I'm going to heaven. I'm not going to heaven for what I said after I was mad about it, though. Yeah, eek.
Well, I'll take the low hanging fruit and go the other way. What's the best birthday gift you've ever been given?
Oh no.
God, I'm going to sleep.
I really don't know.
You are literally the worst tonight.
I am. I really am.
Cut this off and EP take us home with the appropriate ending to the show, please.
Oh my goodness. Oof. Look, I think the simplest and best way I can do this is on behalf of our LLC family. We want to send out our deepest and heartfelt condolences to the Boston family, to the Davis family, and to the Bowie family, and all constituents thereof, because I know the last names are not always the same. But this has been a very unprecedented week for what is usually a really tight-knit global track and field family. And I think there are a lot of people confused and confounded and hurting in a lot of places. So for that, we give a gigantic hug to ourselves and everyone out there who is grieving in their own ways. Check on your people. Cherish the moments that you have with them. Not to be, negative, but spend more time being where your feet are and not rushing off to be someplace else, mentally or physically.
Yes.
That's our props for this week.
Yep. Thank you for saying
well
that
said.
for us. With that, thank you all for another fun week, another fun episode of Athletics LLC Year 4, and we'll see each other next week. Bye, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot knife the butter. Truth pin them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place and we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wally, Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and failed and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.